1988 didn't just give us great records. It changed the job description. And that's the whole point.
The R changed how the bar got built. Kane made skill look like confidence, and KRS owned the room. Chuck D sounded like he was speaking for a whole movement. The question isn't who was the best MC in 88. The more fitting question is, did that year change what an MC could be?
It's GMBTV, y'all. We're digging into crates to find out why 1988 was the biggest year in hip-hop history. I'm Chad. That is Big Absoloot. BA, to understand 88, we got to look at what happened first, right?
Before that, we had no real MC identity. Now, that doesn't mean we have MCs, because Kool Moe Dee existed. Like, Cool J existed. Run DMC existed. There was bars being laid. Shit, shout out Houdini. I forgot about Houdini. Shout out Houdini.
Friends.
But before 88, I think we were trying to find an identity because rap stars still were grouped and looped into being rock stars.
It seemed like to me, everybody who was in hip hop before 88 was trying to fit into the music culture as it was. They were trying to find a lane of an existing lane that was already there that they could fill, like trying to get on with what was already on. And then 88 seemed to be that point where the culture was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make our own lane.
88 felt like your first family reunion, meeting a bunch of distant cousins that you had never met before, but they was all cool in their own way. 88 gave you a taste of a little bit of everything. The West Coast did have artists, but NWA gave us our first big West Coast what's up kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? NWA and Eazy-E, they gave us this first big, like, no, we out here. 88 was a bunch of doors opening and you just sitting in awe in the room. You know what I'm saying? You got the Rakim door. You got the KRS door. You got NWA's door. You got all of these different doors and all these different lanes. And you was like, what is this? Like spending the night over your big cousin's house and they got all the games. Like you was used to Atari 2600. They had that ColecoVision. Like you was like this. Like I'm never going home.
All of this felt exciting to me. It felt exciting to have so many different voices coming from places that we'd never heard them before. If you had to prove that 1988 changed what an MC could be, which record you reaching for first?
I'm going right with Ain't No Half Stepping, because Ain't No Half Stepping was a mindset. It was smooth, it was lyrical, but it was what we considered braggadocious rap on the highest lyrical level. But the King Asiatic, nobody was saying shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And
I go Microphone Fiend, man.
That's my favorite hip-hop song of all time.
He never had any wasted bars. He made everything count. Everything he said mattered. To use a phrase from the Blastmaster, you know, there was a lot of boom, but the dome, but dang a dang. Rakim made it a science. What made it art? What was the one thing that each one of those four dudes could do that made them more than just nice on the mic?
It's how they spoke to you individually. We talked about Public Enemy.
Y'all know I'm the history guy. The Civil Rights Act, 1963, right? 1988 is only 25 years after the Civil Rights Act.
You better talk to them.
There were a lot of promises made in 1963 that hadn't been kept it still hadn't come through by 1988. And you can argue 2026 if you want to, but that's a different show. Then you have Public Enemy and Chuck D, who come out with an album called It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. And I'm going to call that a double entendre because there was a nation of millions that was holding them back.
Yes, there were.
The opening skit to that album was Countdown to Armageddon. They were setting up this battle to me that it felt like, fine, if y'all gonna shut us out of the White House, you're gonna shut us out of the State House, you're gonna try to make us run in your lanes in this music shit, not let us be creative. Why don't we just take this to the streets and see if y'all can fuck with us there? Why don't we just let everybody hear this shit and see what they think about it?
Fight the Power was about so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear on the surface level, you're like, okay, we're going to fight the power. My favorite line of the whole song is what most of my heroes don't appear on no stamp. Up until that moment, we never had a black person on a postage stamp. We never had any Black history facts on a postage stamp.
Who gets a little bit of credit, but not for the right thing?
It's the teacher. KRS said something unpopular 20 years past what people thought was his pride. It changed the way I looked at hip hop when he said it. KRS did an interview and said he looked at the top 20 MCs that was hot right there. And he was like, I got bars for everybody in that thing right now. I mean, yeah, he flattened out, but he flattened out in the sense that we as a hip hop community stopped wanting to learn. And when you're a teacher, a poet, a scholar, Chris was just bigger than that. And he deserved better from hip hop.
What does every great rapper after them inherit from this moment, from 1988?
Lanes of identity. So the great thing about 88 was 88 proved I didn't have to be Run DMC or Fat Boys or LL Cool J. What I could be was good in a lane, even if I created it. As long as it was dope, and I mean really, really undeniably dope, then it didn't matter if I was first to do it, because 88 gave me that permission. If you don't believe where Kendrick Lamar is in his career now is a lyrical descendant from a Chuck D, you're not paying attention.
Right. I think the only thing I would add to it is 3 words, man. You have power. I think that's what these 4 MCs taught every MC that came after them. You have power. You can take this and do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, really. But NWA gave us our first big West Coast what's up kind of situation. NWA and Eazy-E, they gave us this first big, like, no, we out here.
NWA scared the shit out of white America. It did. Scared the hell out of the government. And I was a kid watching this like, this is fucking cool. This is fucking cool that a few dudes can get in the studio and do
2 weeks, 3 days.
And do some, yes, 17 days.
2 weeks, 3 days.
And do something that shakes up the world. 1988 is a meteor year. It went by one time. It is Halley's Comet.
88, time to set it straight.
I want y'all to drop down in the comments and tell us this. Who changed the job of the MC the most in 1988? Rakim, Kane, KRS, or Chuck D? Ain't no wrong answers. Make sure to tune in on Sunday because we will be doing a hostage situation with the top 5 albums of 1988, trying our damnedest to figure out which one was the most powerful.